Hi there, everyone. Namaste. I'm Joe Loftis of Nuit Astrology. Welcome to your planetary energy forecast for the week of June the 19th, 2023. Now, we're just coming out of this pretty lovely new moon that we just experienced on Sunday, the 18th, at 26 degrees in the sign of Gemini. And so this moon was challenged by Neptune, right? But I look at that as like delusion busting. Like I want to know the truth. I want to see what's going on. And so truths were absolutely revealed. And through them, it cleared pathways to new beginnings. All right. So you're going to feel that as we begin the week. All right. It's definitely, an interesting week in that we start with some easeful energy and end up in some clash energy. So get the traction that you can at the beginning of the week. Now, one of the most important features that we need to speak about this week is that Venus will step into her shadow zone in the sign of Leo. Now, we have had Mars has been in Leo for a while. Lilith stepped into Leo last week, and we've also had Venus there. And, you know, Venus is chasing after Mars. She's getting close. They're never going to really come together when she pauses and starts to move backwards to the sky. But beginning Monday the 19th is when we start reading the chapter of the book that we're going to have to reread later this summer. Now, those of you who are ruled by Venus, Taurus and Librans, that's going to be it's going to be a real important time period for you because Venus is your star. But we all have Venus in Leo right now because that's up in the sky. So we're all thinking about what we value, what we love, how we spend money, how we make money. And we're doing it through the lens of the creative power of Leo, of the glamour, the beauty, the magnificence of that sign. And so it's really bringing a lot of things up for that area of life for you. So be sure to know where Leo is in your chart. But also realize, I personally, I don't know about you, but I've already been feeling this retrograde. And maybe that's because I'm a Libra rising and my sun is in Taurus. But last week was so retrograde-y, like people come from the past, old financial decisions coming up for me. Groups of people, friendships, old chapters of the life, like just already starting to cycle through. And so you may have already seen that. And so when that happens, sometimes it's great to see those old friends and reflect on old times. And other times it's like, ooh, right? It triggers the thorn in the paw. That is the part of the archetype of Leo, right? And so there's that woundedness, that lion-heartedness, that over-generosity, that over-giving, or maybe your creative gifts, your talents weren't appreciated by these people, right? Or by these companies or bosses, etc., right? All of that is rich material that's coming up for you to process. So that begins Monday, but I think it's been in play. So reflect upon last week as you enter this week. Now, when Venus is in her shadow, she's not yet retrograde, but she is in the same degrees that she's going to traverse. So from now until the end of September, actually, probably the beginning of October, we got to be a little more mindful of our Venusian things, right? Love and money. So you want to have the caution flag up about like changing your style dramatically or investing a lot of money in expensive clothing or things like that, that after the retrograde period, you might not dig as much, right? You want to really watch investing time and energy or launching something, right? If you want to have the best energy to launch it, you want to do that before the retrograde or after the retrograde. Now, if it's something that's already been started, that's another thing. But, this time period, it makes it so that you have to redo things, right? And so you want to keep that in mind. You also really want to watch if new relationships pop up during this time. It doesn't mean they won't be fabulous, lovely, like have a wonderful time, yummy Leo energy, but it might not have a lot of sticking power. So, just be mindful of this, that it might be a temporary thing, but it doesn't mean you can't just have a, fabulous Leo experience for your summer. So moving on, another really strong feature of Monday, the 19th, is that we have Jupiter and Taurus sending a really nice beam of energy over to the Saturn and Pisces, right? So this gives sticking power, right? So think about what is the Taurus and what is the Pisces area of your life and where you want to glue something together there. Where's a luck or piece of opportunity? The only way you can go wrong with Jupiter is to go too big or too hard, but Saturn is there. offering you a structure, offering you a reality check. But, again, don't overdo. Don't overcommit. You can feel, a little too Jupiterian, right? You also have a beautiful, that Mars in Leo begins to pick up a nice blessing beam from Chiron. So I really see this as an opportunity for healing. There are abundant opportunities for healing this week. And so be generous, right? Think of the higher vibrational qualities of Leo and how you can connect that in harmony with the independent sign of Aries, where Chiron is traversing. How can you heal the wound of independence, right? How can you heal the wound of not feeling seen or acknowledged or empowered, right? How do you work on that? Now on Tuesday the 20th, we've got a Cancer moon sending some really nice energy to Uranus, right? So watch for synchronicities that come through, like, just instincts or intuition. It also sends a nice energy to Neptune. I have an ant friend, say hi. And then it's going to oppose Pluto though, right? So watch out for power struggles, especially if they're happening internally, right? But you could just be vibing this kind of like, overly reactive energy that you want to make sure that you can be a little bit detached about. On Wednesday, the 21st, we have the summer solstice, and this is when the sun comes to 0 degrees of the sign of Cancer. So happy solar return to all my Cancer babies. It's at 10:58 a.m. East Coast time. A wonderful day to celebrate the sun, the light, fire rituals, another kind of intention setting time period. But again, Venus retrograde caution flags are up. Now we begin to pick up Mercury flowing in a beautiful configuration from Gemini, where it loves to be. Mercury loves to be in Gemini, over to Chiron as well. And so healing conversations, like, soul-bearing things, right? The truth serum coming through. I really like this energy. And so take those opportunities, even if it's just you journaling, right? It doesn't have to be this, like, nobody else has to forgive you. You have to forgive you. You have to figure out those difficult relationships. And sometimes the people that you need to work them out with, they're not ready. They're not where you are, right? But that does not mean you cannot achieve healing. All right. Now, we do have a Leo moon square the Jupiter on that day. So beware any like over-the-top declarations or excessive spending. All right. On the 22nd, we've got a moon void to watch out for. This is on the East Coast from around 1 o'clock until 6:35 p.m. No, 6:35 a.m. on the 23rd. Ooh, that's a long one. So from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to the very next day in the morning, the moon is going to be void. Don't sign a contract. Don't make a big giant commitment. Don't send the resume, right? Give yourself that time to like meditate, be inspired. Fabulous for meditation, spiritual work, artistic work, things like that. All right. The Leo moon gets a lot of heat that day as well. So really watch that kind of emotional impulses that you might have. Slow things down a little bit. Don't be too rash or brash. All right. On the 23rd, the nodes go to 1 degree. North node, Taurus, 1 degree. South node, Scorpio, 1 degree, right? This is wrapping up a 19-year cycle and be getting ready for this new Aries Libra axis. But there's always a push to completion, right? Remember, the nodes move backwards, and so they're backing into this new sign next month. So you may see from the Taurus Scorpio area of your chart some endings, some wrapping up, some letting go. So loosen your grip. All right. We do have a Virgo moon that day, which has some really nice vibes. But remember, moon and Virgo can be like really tough, really mean, right? Be analytical, that's cool. Having standards, that's amazing. But being mean, not okay, right? Especially to yourself. So dial it back just a little bit. All right, starting on the 24th, we begin to pick up Mars in Leo, clashing, squaring with Uranus and Taurus. This is a difficult energy. This, because Uranus is involved, nobody can predict what's going to happen, right? But this is the warrior feeling proud, right? Empowered in Leo, clashing with values, money, right? Torrent things, right? Bullheadedness, all right? So there could be shocking, sudden events. Anything that involves Mars and Uranus can bring violence, accidents, things of this nature. So it is very important at the end of the week that you begin to slow things down, drive carefully, speak carefully. Just really understand that the energy has become a little more volatile, okay? The fire and the earth coming together. So be cautious through the weekend with that, really. Add to this a little bit of difficult energy at the end of the week on the 25th. Mercury, which rules the mind, expression in Gemini, begins to clash with Neptune in Pisces. This can bring delusion, argument, gossip, all kinds of really negative expressions, all right? So use it instead for artistic things. Use the Neptune to be inspired. Use the Neptune to be, praying, meditating, tapping into the cosmos instead of arguing or getting lost on social media, which is definitely one of those things that could happen when the sign of the mind gets involved with the sign of glamour and glamorization and just fog. Okay. All right. So I do think there will also be some interesting information that comes in at the end of the week. So don't discount it, all right? Take that information because you will need to have your head on straight for next month. Next month, we have Pluto squaring the nodes. And so this is kind of geopolitical stuff. This is really some last gasps of patriarchal structures going down symbolically next month. So we will want to have our heads on straight for all of that. So high vibe this week, lots going on. Stay grounded and if in question, if in doubt, embrace that Leo nature of generosity, kindness, creativity, strength, and empowerment, right? All right. Let's see what the tarot has to say for this week. I hope you found this useful and helpful. If you did, I would so appreciate it if you would comment below. It helps the channel to grow. I am launching, on the day of this video, I'm launching my new summer course of life transformation. If you are all interested, I am offering it at a steep discount of $108 for the full 8-week course. It includes 3 30-minute sessions with me, so definitely a good bargain. All right, let's see what the tarot has to say. Oh, in just 1 minute, I had to show you, look at the elder flowers. If you've ever had elderberry tea, these are the flowers that the berries come from. And I've also got all this beautiful milkweed. I don't know if you can see it, but boy, I wish you could smell it. It smells amazing. All right, see you in the tarot. Bye. Hello, my dearest darlings. Welcome back for this week's tarot spread. This is the Isis Lotus tarot spread, which gives us 2 different outcomes in order to work with the energy. And so we are inquiring about the week of June 19th, 2023. And I'll just be quiet for a moment while I focus and shuffle. All right. So the first card is just kind of like represents what's happened in the past. So the basic influence of the past. And we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, we've had to cut some ties. We've had to have some new ways of thinking. We've also taken some actions that were really based on like our best irrational decision. Now, the present environment in you is that you are really seeking to develop this, this safe, sacred space of home where you feel abundant, supported, loved, just really abundant. And the environment that you're in instead is conflict. Okay, so these could be internal conflicts or external conflicts, but it's an energy of a 5, and so it could be either way, all right? Now, as these energies come together, they create this fertile Empress energy, right? So this is bringing together these energies and creating it, making a space for creation. All right, so something needs to be started. The key card of the future is 4 of Pentacles. Okay, you don't need to tell everybody. Don't tell everybody. Keep it to yourself. Also be very cautious and wise with your resources and money. Conservative. Be very conservative. Opposing actions are Temperance. All right, so there's some healing and balance to be achieved, or Six of Cups, something returns from the past. Hello, Venus retrograde shadow. Something comes back from the past that you need to deal with, all right? So then we have the near future detail card is the Hierophant, all right? So this is either you dispensing advice or receiving advice from someone who is wise. This favors a more traditional approach to things, all right? Tried and true. The modifiers for the Hierophant, we've got Three of Swords, some really complex emotions if you're in this process of healing. All right, this advice you receive or give, you might have some mixed feelings about. Boy, on the other side too, we also have some really higher level worries and concerns here. This thing that returns from the past could really inspire some worry. All right, now we've got two possible outcomes here. On the Temperance side, Three of Swords, and then wow, we've got the Devil. Okay, the Devil here. And then paired with the Nine of Swords, we've got the Queen of Cups. And so we get this advice. We feel a little complicated about it, but boy, there could be some real danger, addiction, obsession lurking around here. On the other side, we're worried, right? We have this like sleepless night potentially, but then we begin to resolve. We begin to understand we need to heal. On the Temperance side, Nine of Cups, we end up with an abundance mindset over here. All right, we work it through. Over here with the Six of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. So there's something that we need to rely on ourselves for, right? We need to feel like we're becoming more independent, autonomous, and providing for ourselves in some way. Paired with this Nine of Cups, we have Justice. All right. So some of this is just coming down. It's karmic. It's those seeds that we've planted in the past are coming forward, and some we will like and some we will not. But, Nine of Cups indicates some blessings here. And then paired with the Nine of Pentacles, we've got the King of Wands. So it's not enough to say, okay, well, I'm going to take care of myself. We have to take really strong actions to move forward. And these actions could mean collaborating with others or telling other people's kind of telling other people what to do, right? The king doesn't do everything himself, right? He gets his team on board. So two very different outcomes for the week. All right. We have this idea that we want to create. We kind of keep it to ourselves. It either is involved kind of healing, coming back into balance and wholeness. There could be some very difficult emotions, very sticky people, tricky people. We need to be very cautious and careful of any underworld people. But the outcome is abundance and fairness. On the other side, we've got this something coming back or person coming back, a situation coming back from the past. There's some worry or concern. Then we decide, okay, no, we're going to take action to heal, to help. And we've got to do it ourselves, but yet we also need to start something new in this process. It's a very creative week. So I find that to be really interesting, especially with some of the transits. Venus is in shadow, so keep that in mind if it's something new. But I feel like these are all things that have been in play for a while here. So both of which will work out okay, but there's going to be some tricky moments during the week. Be careful of difficult people. Be careful of your own worries and concerns. All right. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.